is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is officially December 1st, 2024, and today we're hanging out in the home office, and it's been a hot minute since I've filmed a video in the home office, but you know, it's really cold outside, so I'm not gonna be filming outside, and you know, it's a nice change of scenery. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now, with it being December, I'm going to take the traditional YouTuber route and do a recap of the year. And this year's actually been a really great year. It's been one of my favorite years, and I got a lot accomplished this year, and I'm proud of the work that I got done, and I got a lot accomplished this year. It was a very, very productive year, personally and professionally. So this year was a big year for me when it came to running. In March, I completed my first trail race, and that race also happened to be the farthest distance I've ever ran. To mile 4. It was very wet, very muddy, but I'm on familiar terrain and I'm feeling good, so let's go. And then a few months later, in May of 2024, I PR'd my half marathon. It was my second half marathon that I ran, and I PR'd from 2023 when I ran my first half marathon. So, you know, trail race, and then turning around a couple months later to PR my half marathon. That was really, really big for me. Super proud of all the progress that I made in running. This year was also a pretty big year for me in photography as well. In April, I traveled to Philly to be one of the photographers for the 2024 Project Endure in-person event. And then later in August, I traveled back to Philly for another community event, which this time it was for Fuel Hunt's FewFest 003. It was, I'm not sure how long the distance was, but it was a nice ruck through the historic part of Philly, getting a nice historical tour of Philly, as well as some group workouts, and I had the chance to be one of the photographers there as well, which was as far as other wins, accomplishments for the year, there were some really nice personal ones. I made new friends, and I strengthened my existing friendships. I was also on a couple of podcasts. I was on the Project Endure podcast, as well as the Keep Going podcast, and I had the opportunity on both platforms to share my story, a little bit more of what makes me me. So that was super fun to get to do this year. I really enjoy opening up and sharing my story, so I'm hoping I can do more of that in 2025. With the wins this year also came some losses. In the fall of this year, I had to take some time off of running. I had to take all of September off and most of October off from running, just because my body needed a little bit of a break. So I gave it that break and started back in my running journey at the end of October, beginning of November. And that was a big lesson as to where my priorities had been focused for a lot of this year. I really dove deep into making running my identity, which I did not plan on doing when I first started my running journey, but as you guys all know, who are runners or who are athletes, once you start something and you get more and more into it, it kind of just overtakes your life. And not being able to run for a month and a half really put things into perspective as to how much of myself I put into running, and it enabled me to take a step back and realize what's really important for me in my life. And I'm making changes in my personal life right now to really make sure I focus on all areas of my life, fitness, friendships, other hobbies outside of fitness and photography. And another area where I failed or had a loss this year was in the discipline category. I went into this year with high hopes and dreams and goals of what I wanted to do with my photography this year, and I fell way short. And yes, like I mentioned earlier, I did have two really big photography opportunities this year that I'm grateful for, but outside of that, I didn't really capitalize on anything else. I didn't really put that much effort into the photography game or the creation game at all. And that is on me. That's a lack of discipline. I let other things consume my time, not just fitness, but, my day job. And honestly, I watched a lot of Netflix, a lot of YouTube. I consumed more this year than I actually created, and that's something that I'm working on now in this last month of 2024, and I'm carrying into 2025, is to consume less and create more. And that doesn't necessarily mean create more to share more. That just means to create. Like, not everything that I photograph or capture has to see the light of day or has to be shared with the general public, but I just need to make sure that I am working on my craft in some way, as I need to make the time to work on my craft, whether it's based on my schedule. That's not going to be every day, and I have to be okay with that. But in the time that I do have, mainly on the weekend, I need to be working and creating and building my skills to the next level. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Nothing super special. I just wanted to break down the year that I had, because there were some really great moments and there were some lessons that I learned along the way as well. So with that being said, this is going to be the last video of 2024. I'm not sure what YouTube is going to hold for me in 2025, because I do have some things that I want to do, outside the creative side of things that, might take precedence over creating videos. And I have some goals and shifts and priorities that I'm not ready to share right now. Those who are very close to me, there's a couple people that do know what I'm looking to do in 2025, but I'm not ready to share that out loud yet with everyone else. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. I hope everyone has a great holiday season, and look forward to talking to y'all in 2025.